What's going on, guys? My name is Tyicus, and yes, the title of the video is correct. I upgraded my hideout and unlocked the gym without playing a single raid on my PMC. Now, before you start calling hacks or calling me a cheater, let me just show you the overall stats of my PMC right here. As you can see, my PMC is at level 3, and the overall stats, we have 0 raids, 0 survives, 0 kill in action. Everything is completely 0. Everything from the statistics to the health conditions, combat, looting, everything is all 0. And we can even take a look at the skills, and you can see my skills are all at 0 as well. Except for the hideout management and crafting, but that comes along with upgrading your hideout and crafting things. So, and then as for weapon mastering, there is obviously nothing because we haven't played a single raid on my PMC. Okay, so what's the deal? You might be asking, how was I able to do all of this? Well, simple. I played my scav and only my scav since the start of the wipe. But you see, I decided to give myself a challenge for this wipe. I told myself I was allowed to play 50 raids on my scav and only my scav, and I was curious to see what I could accomplish at the end of this little experiment. Initially, I wanted to do 100 raids, but that was a little overzealous. Because of the scav cooldown, you are only able to play a raid every 25 minutes. That is, of course, without the cooldown reduction of the intel center and so on and so forth. And that would be quite brutal and time consuming with the cooldown between raids. Alright, so let's jump into the overall stats for my scav. Here's a clip from a live raid on my scav so that you guys can see my stats. As you can see, my scav reached level 10, and we ended with 50 raids, 43 survives, 6 deaths, and 1 AWOL at a survival rate of 86%. By the way, all the times that I did die were from the early days of the wipe when the servers were running like dog boo. I would either load into a raid and be dead or randomly disconnect during the raid, only to be greeted with the screen that says I died to a player. Now, if we scroll down and look at the combat stats, you can see that I primarily focused on survival and avoided all PvP as much as possible. And if we hop over to these skills, you can see that my scav has an endurance of level 7, a strength of level 4, health of level 5, metabolism at 12, so on and so forth. And lastly, for the weapon mastery, there's not much here because, like I said earlier, I completely avoided combat altogether. So we didn't master any of the weapons at all. Okay, now that I've showed you the stats on both my PMC and my scav, let's jump into the hideout and see how far we got everything upgraded to. Alright, okay, so starting from the bottom from left to right, you can see that we reached generator level 1. We got heating to level 1. Obviously you can't get it to level 2 because of my PMC. I would have to level my PMC's endurance up. We got illumination up to level 2. Lavatory, we got unlocked to level 1. If I could have found one more sewing kit, I would have been able to unlock level 2 lavatory. Med station, we were able to unlock to level 1. The nutrition station, we were able to unlock to level 1 as well. We could have definitely gotten this to level 2 as well if we could have found that, gotten lucky with the sewing kit. We would have definitely been able to get lavatory 2 and then upgraded this to nutrition level 2 as well. I'm crafting this to Shanka right now. I'll get into that a little bit later. But we also got breast space level 1, security level 1. We even got our shooting range level 1. Stash, this is a standard account. I just kind of ignored this. I didn't really want to go for this. Vents, we unlocked level 1. Could have definitely gotten level 2 as well for this. Just got really unlucky with finding the parts that we needed. But we got water collector level 1. We got workbench level 1. And last but not least, we were actually able to unlock the gym all the way, right? We tore down... Oh, let me turn on the lights a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we were able to tear down the wall all the way to the point where we actually upgraded the gym. And I can actually start using it and start working out. yeah, so that's pretty much the hideout. That's as far as we got within the 50 raids that I gave myself for this challenge. Okay, so now that I've shown you the hideout, let's jump into our stash and see what we ended up with. In terms of our stash, we ended up with 6.3 million rubles and $11,000. This ammo case is from the New Year event or the Christmas event, I forget, but I decided to keep that around. In terms of the ammos that I found in the 50 raids, nothing too crazy. The only thing that was significant was the BP rounds that I found. This was like on a dead scav, like 57 rounds. All 57 rounds was on one dead scav. And then these APM rounds were pretty nice to find as well. But yeah, overall, nothing too significant in terms of ammo. And then we were able to accumulate enough rubles to purchase 2 Lucky Scav junk boxes. And both of these junk boxes, I decided to keep a lot of items either for the hideout or for task items. So initially what I was thinking is that I was going to sell everything that I found in order to kind of like maximize the rubles, but then I kind of thought that was a little boring, right? So I decided, you know, why don't we just keep the items that we need for my PMC, just in case I decided to actually play my PMC, right? So that's exactly what I did. I started keeping all the items that I needed for the PMC's quests and stuff like that, like quest lines especially, like the 3G phones, the CPU fans, the 3 CPUs, the 4 T-plugs, and the 2 power cores, gas analyzers, the tool sets needed for farming, fuel conditioners for Ragman, so on and so forth. And then these were all some of the valuable items that we picked up: military cables, OFZs, vases, lions, things like that. Pretty much just keeping these things for my PMC when he does reach those quest lines, so that we can turn them in. And then in terms of down here, it's the same thing going on here. I decided to just kind of keep all of the quest items that were needed for like early game quests and some of the like later game quests as well. For example, the 3M armor and the TAWs for skier. We were able to actually get all the items needed for Gunsmith Part 1 and Gunsmith Part 2. So those are ready to turn in. This armor and these contacts, they're nothing. They're just extra armor and contacts for my PMC whenever I do decide to play him. In these rigs, more quest items, right? These are the Tashankas that are needed for therapists, the 4 morphines for therapists, the M67 grenades, 2 out of the 10 that it's needed for prepper, labs keys for a quest that's later on down the road. We found the notorious elusive flash drives, right? 2 for skier, and I know Jaeger asked for 3, so this is 1 out of 3. The 3 Soleil was for therapists, the half masks, melatonin for the samples quest. We got cigarettes for bad habit, the Shamaska for Ragman, so on and so forth. And then this is for Jaeger, obviously Jaeger again. And then yeah, we basically ended up with all of this stuff. Oh, and then in terms of the keys too, these are the keys that I ended up finding as well. Throughout the way, I did find a lot more of these keys, like duplicates of these keys. I just decided to sell them for the rubles. But we actually ended up with, you know, a lot of the early game quest keys as well, right? Dorm 206, Director's Tarkon key, 303, 114, the portable cabin key, so on and so forth. And now if we go and take a look at our traders, oh yeah, and you can see that I didn't pick up any of the tasks, right? Debut is still here, therapist shortage is still here for the Solewas, and gunsmith is still here, and I haven't even unlocked Jaeger at all, right? So yeah, definitely didn't do anything on my PMC. And then, like I was saying, for the traders, I decided to actually spread the wealth between them. I decided to just sell them items to basically meet the amount spent, right, that was needed to reach level 2. So like I said, if I was gonna play my PMC, all I had to worry about was just reaching the level and then doing the rep grind for them. But I don't have to worry about the rubles spent for any of them, because I decided to just sell items to each of the traders to basically get them all to that minimum requirement. Now, like I said, if I really wanted to maximize the rubles, I would have just basically sold a majority of the items to either therapist or mechanic, basically in Ragman, right? Basically the traders that are gonna pay you the most for the items. But like I was saying, I wanted to just kind of level it up in case I do want to play my PMC. And that's pretty much it, guys. Honestly, when I hopped back into Tarkov, I wasn't planning on doing a challenge like this at all. In fact, I didn't even know what this video was going to turn into. I was really just planning on playing the game like normal and progressing on my PMC. But as we all know, the PMC grind can be really brutal, especially at the beginning of any wipe. As I am terrible at this game, majority of the time I would end up dying and losing all of my gear and rubles to the point where I would reset my account and try again to only meet the same fate. This would eventually lead me to just quitting the game altogether and waiting for the next wipe to try again. So all in all, not only was this a refreshing way to jump back into Tarkov, but it was the most fun I've ever had in the game. So in the end, what did I really accomplish with this challenge? It's not the amount of rubles, it's not the task items, it's not the hideout, it's definitely not the rare loot, because none of that truly mattered. What was important is that I found a way to consistently farm rubles so that I am able to continue to fuel the gameplay on my PMC. This effectively eliminated the fear of dying and losing all my gear and gave me the confidence I needed to continue playing Escape from Tarkov. I realized that if you can find a way to farm rubles consistently, nothing is ever truly lost. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And by the way, I was planning on doing a follow-up video going over the method and strategy I used to get an 86% survival rate and to be able to farm rubles consistently. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in seeing something like that. And depending on how many comments we get, I'll start working on that video. Other than that, thank you for giving me your eyeballs, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.